Hey everyone, it is officially January 20th, the morning of the inauguration. Today's going to be the busiest day of my life, so I wanted to hop on here and give you a quick news update about where things stand right now, what you can expect today, and some preemptive decisions that Donald Trump is likely going to make that could impact your life. As always, if you haven't yet become a paid subscriber to support my work, please do so by clicking the button below. I am forever grateful to each and every one of you. It's super easy, super simple. So thank you in advance, and thank you to everyone who's done it. Now, this morning, the country was awoken with some big news as President Biden has issued preemptive pardons for members of the January 6th committee, for Harry Dunn and other Capitol police officers, as well as Liz Cheney, Adam Schiff, other members of Congress that served on the committee, their staff members. The preemptive pardons also apply to Dr. Anthony Fauci, who led the COVID response under Donald Trump. They also applied to General Mark Milley, who is the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, served under Trump, and has been at the center of a number of Donald Trump's attacks. So the preemptive pardons apply to Milley, Fauci, and January 6 committee members and staff. This is a significant decision. Preemptive pardons are very rarely, if ever, issued, and they come as Donald Trump is set to be sworn in. And Kash Patel, for example, Donald Trump's FBI director, literally has an enemies list with many of these pardoned individuals on that list. Senator Rand Paul issued a statement following the pardon of Dr. Fauci, saying that Biden's pardon of Dr. Fauci forever seals the deal on who bears the responsibility for the COVID pandemic, vowing that he will, quote, not rest until the cover up is exposed, whatever that means. Now, the Wall Street Journal is also reporting that Donald Trump is going to lay out his vision for the economy today, but he will not impose tariffs just yet. If you recall, Trump has been threatening tariffs on China, Mexico, Canada, and really any other country he could think of, including 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico. So it doesn't look like he's going to impose them right away. I mean, things can change, but that is what the Wall Street Journal is reporting. Now, the journal is also reporting that China is now signaling it will not block a deal to keep TikTok in the United States. This is a significant change from before, where China would not essentially allow ByteDance to sell the algorithm associated with TikTok to keep TikTok around. It looks like China is changing, but I think we need to have a real conversation about why now, why when Donald Trump takes office, China is willing to potentially sell TikTok to the United States. And what does that even look like? Who owns TikTok in the United States? If it's Meta, that's very concerning given monopoly concerns. Same thing goes with Musk. Can the United States government own a social media platform via a joint venture like Donald Trump proposed? Well, that's concerning in and of itself as well. So we'll see what happens. Vladimir Putin has officially congratulated Donald Trump ahead of the inauguration. Now, that is going to be one of Donald Trump's first key tests, is whether or not he can solve the conflict in Ukraine. Donald Trump has pledged on the campaign trail that he could stop the war in Ukraine in just 24 hours. His now special envoy to the area is now saying that it might take up to 100 days. Folks, I predict that it may take even longer, given the complexities of the region and given the fact that Ukraine should not have to give up any of its territory in any deal with the Russian government. Today, President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden will be riding with President-elect Trump and Melania Trump to the Capitol. That is very interesting, given the fact that for several years we have been told that Donald Trump is this major threat to our democracy, but the four will be riding together in the Capitol. Some other things that Donald Trump said: he will be going to California on Friday as his first visit as president to oversee and survey the wildfire damage. He will be working to keep biological men, who he calls, out of women's sports. He will likely abolish the Department of Education or work to do that to give education back to the states. He will make the public records on assassinations of JFK, MLK, Jr., and RFK. He will attempt to repeal every executive order that President Biden has signed since taking office. He will slash environmental regulations. He has already spoken to Apple CEO Tim Cook, who told him that Apple will be making a major investment in the United States. And finally, Vivek Ramaswamy is now on the outs of DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency. Given friction with a staff member, one person close to Trump said, quote, Vivek has worn out his welcome. So it looks like Doge has made its first efficient cut by cutting Ramaswamy. Folks, that's all the news right now. There's going to be a lot more throughout the day. So I'll have a midday special Substack newsletter in my Substack, so please subscribe there if you haven't. And then I'll do an end of day recap in the evening, and I'll try to go live when I can. So thank you all for your support, and good luck.